Hello everyone, this is Justyna Lorkowska, and today I'd like to show you how to attach tassels that create a fringe on the edge of my latest shawl called Big Jim. You're going to need a couple of things to do it. First of all, you need some yarn that is going to be used for the tassels. I have here some dark red yarn, and this is some kind of a leftover, so I'm going to use it to show you how to make the tassels. I also have a swatch that I'm going to use here at the edge. We're going to use the swatch for the tutorial. You are going to need also a pair of scissors and a crochet hook, and also measuring tape. Okay, this can be any measuring tape, or if you'd like to, you can also use a ruler, anything that you will find useful. And the thing is, you can attach tassels in two ways. The first way you use, as you can see, the tassels are attached with sort of a let's call it a loop or something like that, and this is on the right side. This kind of attaching I prefer more because it gives, to me personally, it gives a more finished look. Okay, you can attach tassels also, here is the wrong side of the shawl, in this way, where you have sort of two bars, or I would call them bars, let's say, on the right side. Okay, pick whichever you prefer. Okay, it's your shawl, it's your fringe, let's call it. So it should be the one you like. Okay, now the first thing you have to do is to cut the yarn in, let's say, more or less even way. Okay, to do it, you can just use your hands, or you can use something that will guarantee that the yarn you're going to use for the fringe is going to be very, very even. Okay, for this I personally used a Lazy Kate, because the sticks that were sticking out of the Lazy Kate were very even, and I wrapped as if I was doing the warping for weaving, I wrapped the yarn around it, and then I took off the yarn and just cut the ends. But if you don't have something like that, you can just use your hands. That would be also fine. Just make sure that the pieces of yarn that you have, they are more or less the same length. Okay, so I'm going to do it like, I see that my yarn is a bit cut, so I'm going to just put the yarn like that. Okay, so you will need to have some time, let's say, to put the yarn evenly. Okay, and just prepare for the tassels. So more or less the yarn lies like that. And now, how long should they be? Well, it's actually up to you. I prefer, for my shawl, I prefer fairly long a fringe, and as you can see, this fringe is it's 3.5 inches long. Okay, so it's completely up to you. You can have a shorter fringe, you can have an even longer fringe. You're the boss here, but the length of yarn that you have here in front of you should be the same as double length of the tassel. Okay, so if I have 3.5 inch, then I should have a 7 inches here. Okay, if I have 2 inches for the tassel, then I should have 4 inches here. Okay, also you should have some kind of it should be a little bit longer, because you're going to cut here, the edge, here, and then you're going to have to even out the fringe. So make it a little bit longer, just to be safe. Okay, so I'm putting the yarn in front of me, making it more or less even. well, it's better if it's more even than less, obviously. How much yarn do I prepare now? I'm going to cut now. How much yarn do I prepare now? Well, it is actually up to you again, because the density of the fringe can be various. Okay, so my fringe, as you can see, it's not that dense because I had a limited amount of yarn, and I had just a half a skein of the beige wool. So I put out the shawl on the floor, and first I prepared the whole half a skein of yarn. I prepared like that, okay, to have the tassels. And then I spread out the shawl on the floor, and I put each tassel, as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threads. So that was 3 strips of yarn like that, okay? So I put each tassel next to each other to see if I have enough yarn, okay? To see if I have to make them denser or less dense, to have the fringe that is even, okay? So first you prepare the yarn. You prepare the yarn like that, then you will cut the ends to have the strips of yarn, and then you spread the shawl or something you want to have ornamented with the fringe, and you place, don't attach yet, you place just the tassels around the edge, okay? Just to check if you have enough yarn, if you have to add maybe some different color, if you've run out of the yarn that you're going to use for the tassels, or if you have to spread them out, or if you can put them closer together, okay? So if we have this amount of yarn, then we cut the ends. So that we just have strips of yarn. As you can see, they are not very, very even because it's more or less. And here, I'm going to even them out later on when they are attached. Okay, so I have some strips of yarn, and now I'm going to, let's just say, use the same tassels I used for my shawl. So I have just 3 strips. Another tassel, another tassel, one more. Okay, well, that's just brilliant. I don't know how I did it, but I have a perfect number of strips of yarn. Okay, so each of them has 3 threads. Okay, cool. So I have the tassels, and now if you have the edge of the shawl, here just the swatch, I put them like that just to see if I have enough of them. Okay, so they were fairly close. Well, obviously, I could use some more, but we're going to make do with what I have. So now, as I said, there are 2 ways of attaching tassels. You can either have the bump here on the right side, or you can have sort of 2 bumps on the right side. I prefer to have the bump on the right side, which means the yarn, let's make it even, which means the yarn has to go like that, okay? The bump, which is the middle of our tassel, has to be here on this side, okay? So that will mean that I will have to put my crochet hook here. I put it here on the edge. That would mean I have to put my crochet hook from wrong side to the right side. I pull the yarn through the fabric, okay? And now I just have the loop and I pull the tassel through the loop. And now I pull it tight evenly. And voila, here's the first one. So I can see one is longer, okay? I'm not going to cut it right now, but I'm going to even everything out once all the tassels are attached. And another one. So depending on the amount of tassels I have, I can go very, very densely, or I can go fairly loosely. I prefer the looser one because to me it looks neater, but everything is up to you guys. So now I put the crochet hook again from the wrong side and I stick it out on the right side. I fold my tassel in half, make the loop, pull the loop through the fabric, and now the loop is here. And I take the tassel and pull it. Make sure you pull all the strands evenly so that nothing is loose here. Okay, I see that one is loose here. I have to check which strand it is. Oh, come on. Okay, looks better. Second tassel is here. Now, the same distance should be kept between all the tassels. So I think this is the same. Now, put the crochet hook through the fabric from the wrong side to the right side. Create the loop, pull the loop through the fabric, and pull the tassel through the loop. Okay, so this gives a look the same I have on my shawl. So you have the bump here on the right side. If you'd like to have everything in the opposite way, so you would like to have two bumps on the right side, you have to do it a little bit differently. Obviously, it means that the bumps are the loop has to go like that. Okay, so now I'm going to have to reverse. Do it the opposite way. So now I put the crochet hook from the right side, insert it, and it goes out on the wrong side. I grab the loop and again I pull it tightly. So it's up to you guys, okay, whichever you prefer. I will do one more to show you. So again, another tassel, and I insert the crochet hook on the right side here. Whoops. Oh, it's better in here. And I grab the loop of yarn and I pull it through the fabric so it's on the right side. Then I pull the tassel through the loop and voila, another one. Okay, so as you can see, well, both of them look nice, but so it's up to you which you prefer. And the last one, again, on the right side to the wrong side, grab the loop, make sure to grab all the strands of yarn, grab the loop. Also, one more thing, when you pull the loop through the fabric, okay, make sure to even out the tassel, okay, because once you pull it tight, okay, it's going to be a little bit difficult, to correct everything, and it might destroy a little bit the tassel. So voila, we have all of them. And now these three are attached in the same way as on my shawl. So we have the bump here on the right side. These three are attached in the opposite way. So you have two bumps here on the right side. Whichever you prefer, it's up to you. Okay, guys. And now what happens next? Now we have to even out the fringe. What I did is, because I attached the tassels after the shawl was blocked, okay? So don't attach the tassels before blocking, because they will all get, well, wet and might stick together, and it's pretty hard to even them out after washing. Obviously, once you wash the shawl later on, It doesn't mean that you have to detach the fringe and then reattach it. No. But the first time, I believe that it's best to first block the shawl, then attach the fringe, and then you may see that not some tassels are uneven. What I did, well, I just took the iron and I pressed the tassels so to make them even, to even them out, and to see what kind of length I'm dealing with. And as you can see, well, they are not all even. Okay, so now, well, I have bad scissors, obviously. Once they are pressed and they are even, you just cut them. You can use one hand to hold the fringe so that, whoops, I should have taken my bigger scissors to so we are cutting. Now, not everything is just perfectly even, because you may see that sometimes some strips of yarn are like, well, like 5 millimeters shorter. This is not a problem. It's a problem if you have yarn that is shorter or longer, 1 inch by 1 inch. So this is a problem and you have to cut it. But here it's not a problem. So you cut everything, you press everything, you cut everything, and voila, here is your fringe. I hope that helps you, and see you guys next time. Bye.